For the second time in history, Israel is proposing a resolution at the UN General Assembly, and it couldn't be more important. Just a few weeks away from International Holocaust Memorial Day, and the world is still dealing with Holocaust denial, especially on social media. Despite the fact that Facebook and Twitter banned Holocaust denial, at least in principle, social media networks are not doing enough to stop it. And there's no international consensus on what constitutes Holocaust denial. That's where this resolution steps in. Israeli ambassador to the United Nations, Gilad Erdan, is proposing a resolution to define Holocaust denial based on the IHRA definition of anti-Semitism, which recognizes both classical and modern anti-Semitism. Modern anti-Semitism that we see today on social media includes comparing Israel to Nazis, saying the Holocaust doesn't go far enough, blaming the Jews for their own genocide, and claiming the Holocaust was a positive event, amongst other displays of hatred. This resolution comes at a critical time, when global anti-Semitism is rising. 60% of American Jews experienced anti-Semitism in the aftermath of Israel's recent operation in Gaza. Jews have literally been beaten in the streets, not of Europe, but in the US, in Los Angeles and New York. And while the Jewish community is sounding the alarm, the public isn't learning the lessons of the past. In the United States, 63% of millennials and Gen Z don't know that 6 million were murdered in the Holocaust. 1 in 10 had never heard of the Holocaust, and 3% denied it altogether. It's not just in the US. In Europe, 1 in 20 Europeans hadn't heard of the Holocaust. Well, a third of Europeans believe that Jews used the Holocaust to advance their own goals, and that commemorating the Holocaust takes away from atrocities today. In the Arab world, though trends are changing with the Abraham Accords, Holocaust distortion and denial are the norm. This UN resolution, supported by both Israel and Germany, will set the international standard for what Holocaust denial is, and will call on member states to deal with online Holocaust denial in their countries. While Holocaust denial is already illegal in many countries, it's time for an international consensus. The UN must take a stand on this issue, for the sake of the 6 million who were murdered and for the sake of humanity today.